supporting this, and thank you to Salesforce. Now, as our last presentation, I'm delighted to be able to introduce Vicky Kingston, who's the Strategic Director for Energy at Local Partnerships. And the intent here is to give us all an insight into the experience of one of the partner organisations that's been working on the development of Net Zero Go, and particularly in how some of the tools that have been developed through the programme have been put into practice. So, Vicky, over to you.
Thank you for having me here today. It's been fantastic to be able to develop this tool alongside the Catapult. So next slide, please. Firstly, a bit about local partnerships for those who aren't aware. So local partnerships are a public sector consultancy. We're a joint venture between the Local Government Association, HM Treasury and Welsh Government. We work solely for the benefit of the public sector and most notably for our owners in central and local government. Our role is to support the delivery of national policy at a local level by providing capacity and capability at a local level, helping councils to achieve and maintain financial resilience. Our experts provide trusted professional support and advice over multiple disciplines, helping councils to make the best use of limited resources as demand for services continue to rise. Next slide, please. So my role as Strategic Director for Energy is within the Climate and Energy team, a thread which ties together all of our services within local partnerships. And our experience of delivery has been used to support the Energy Systems Catapult in the development of the Net Zero Go tool, most notably in the development of the procurement platform. Local partnerships have extensive experience in the development and delivery of smart local energy projects and the procurement processes required to support these. We own and manage the National Energy Performance Contracting Framework REFIT alongside the Greater London Authority. And consequently, we've supported councils across England and Wales to develop, procure and deliver their energy projects. This includes Cambridgeshire County Council, and I can see that Cheryl French is with us today, their lead at Cambridgeshire, who are one of the most ambitious users of the REFIT framework and have used that and our support services to run a number of procurement processes to retrofit council-owned buildings, to roll out a schools retrofit programme across the county, and to develop innovative renewable energy projects, including smart park and ride, energy grids and a 12 megawatt solar farm. Outside of the REFIT framework, and most recently, we're working with Birmingham City Council to develop a procurement strategy for the delivery of a social housing retrofit pilot. We've worked with Milton Keynes to procure consultants to assess heat decarbonisation through the delivery of heat networks. And I'm also working with the Energy Systems Catapult and councils within Greater Manchester to help unlock clean energy investment by undertaking a review of existing procurement processes to understand things like detailed drivers and processes in place for the purchase of energy supply and services, and to understand and investigate potential barriers and issues with the development and delivery of these services. So through our experience of working with local authorities and our research that we've done previously with Energy Systems Catapult, it's clear that navigation through public procurement is a barrier to the development and delivery of local energy projects. Next slide, please. Using this insight, we've worked with the Catapult to develop a suite of tools and materials on the procurement platform to help local authorities successfully navigate through these processes. Through the work that I've been delivering in Greater Manchester and with Birmingham, I've also had the opportunity to apply these tools in practice. Birmingham City Council is one of the largest landlords in the UK. It's responsible for 15% of the total housing stock in the city, which is around 60,000 properties. Birmingham, like many others, have signed up to net zero targets and are seeking to improve the thermal efficiency of their housing stock as one method towards reducing their overall carbon emissions. The council are looking to deliver a pilot to explore different improvement options and funding models, and to understand what routes to market are available for both the pilot and future phases of the rollout. I initially used the procurement decision tree, which you can see on the screen, although not very clearly, unfortunately, to assess routes to market for Birmingham. And as they are able to define the requirements for retrofit of their stock, my first port of call was to assess what, if any, frameworks might exist to support the delivery of social housing retrofit. Next slide, please. I then used the procurement tool to identify, shortlist, and source frameworks relevant for the project. There are a proliferation of frameworks available to the public sector to support the delivery of smart local energy projects. But navigating through these options and identifying which, if any, are appropriate for the delivery of an identified project or set of projects is often a key barrier to effective public procurement. The procurement tool seeks to overcome this issue. Without the tool, I wouldn't have been able to identify the full range of procurement frameworks available to the council, and would have relied upon my own knowledge of the market, which would have inevitably been more limited or biased towards those that I'm aware of. Using the tool has also reduced the amount of desktop research required to understand the options available. It provided me with a list of options and associated data, providing a launchpad for further desktop research. I then used the outputs from the procurement tool to assist with an options appraisal by using a range of assessment criteria against which to refine and then select a preferred procurement route. And these are some of the criteria that we used and are available within the guidance on the procurement platform. Next slide, please. Following the selection of a preferred procurement route, I will then need to support the council in completing its internal procurement strategy report. Net Zero Go has a suite of guidance and materials to help councils develop a robust procurement plan and strategy. And as it's a live environment, the team can continue to build content as required by users. Using the tools for local authorities such as Birmingham has allowed me to test its value, and working with the Catapult, we're already making improvements and modifications to enhance the user experience. I believe that Net Zero Go is a great asset to local authorities at all stages in their knowledge and understanding of the development of smart local energy projects. So if you're a local authority starting out, or as an experienced local authority looking to enhance or streamline your processes in the sector, Net Zero Go has something to offer. Thank you.
Vicky, thank you. That was great, and I hope for all of us actually a really helpful insight into how, in practice, some of the tools have been can be applied, and an insight into the really deep collaborations that have gone into trying to develop some of the key attributes of the platform.